Two more coronavirus deaths in Hong Kong. Social distancing measures start to ease in the city. House Committee special meeting begins amid Democratic lawmaker protests. Hello, good evening and welcome to TVB News. Two more people in Hong Kong have died from the coronavirus. This as 13 new infections were confirmed. Amid an overall downward trend in cases, authorities are pushing ahead with a voluntary free COVID-19 testing scheme tomorrow. Hailey has more.
The epidemic has taken away two more lives in Hong Kong. A 91-year-old man and 76-year-old man with chronic illnesses passed away at United Christian Hospital and Tuen Mun Hospital respectively this morning. Meanwhile, the city reported 13 more COVID-19 cases. 3 of them are of unknown sources and another 3 are imported cases. Among the newly diagnosed patients is a worker for food delivery app Food Panda. She works in the Cheung Kwan O area.
The food delivery process is very short and they usually packaged and she's wearing masks during the delivery, so we don't consider those customers as close contacts.
Despite the downward trend of infection numbers, the government insists universal testing is necessary to get the outbreak under control. Online registration begins tomorrow at 7 a.m. for 7 days. People can make an appointment between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. at one of the 141 sample collection centers across the city's 18 districts. This morning, officials made a last-minute bid to quash concerns and boost participation. But the more details they gave, the more grounds for concerns surfaced. Each center will head it by a registered doctor, but some of those taking samples will have no clinical experience.
For the students, the healthcare professional students, if they are participating, they are under supervision.
Medical students or nursing students, they will be provided with training and know how to do the procedure.
Officials say the central government has enlisted a total of 600 specialists to support Hong Kong, with more than 100 of them arriving today. And there's a lack of information about their qualifications.
I must say, everyone in the support team has been accredited with recognized qualifications by the mainland.
How about people's doubts about the quality of the tests? Swedish authorities reported 3,700 people in the country using BGI manufactured testing kits have tested false positive for COVID-19. They said the testing kits could not distinguish between very low levels of the virus and negative results. BGI is the parent company of Sunrise Diagnostic Center, one of the labs involved in the testing scheme in Hong Kong.
They have to go through our external quality assurance mechanism. So there is no evidence to say that in terms of sensitivity and specificity, there are problems.
The secretary in charge insists the effectiveness of the program doesn't necessarily hinge on the number of participants.
I don't think that you need to measure the effectiveness of the program by sticking to a particular figures about the number of people coming forward to be tested.
The scheme is expected to last 7 days, but can be extended by another week. Hailey, TVB News.
Many of the city's social distancing measures were eased. Dine-in hours at eateries were extended from 6 to 9 p.m. Restaurants must still serve no more than 2 per table. Cinemas, beauty parlors, and some outdoor sports premises also reopened. People can go mask-free in parks and while exercising outdoors. Massage parlors and sauna operators are still shut. The sector is urging the government to let them reopen, claiming they have measures in place to prevent a spread of the disease. A special meeting on combating COVID-19 was disrupted by pan-Democratic lawmakers. Loong tells us more.
Today's House Committee special meeting began with pan-Democratic lawmakers protesting over issues such as political prosecution. The committee's chairman, Story Lee, stopped their protests, saying it had nothing to do with the epidemic. The meeting then proceeded with some lawmakers demanding more direct help for the public.
亦都越嚟越差，好多人都失業，就業不足。
The $10,000 given to the public, many have spent them because many people are unemployed or underemployed in the past few months. Are you going to return $20,000 to all members of the public?
The government's response.
We are going into a dire situation. We forecast that there will be $300 billion of deficit this year. It is the largest ever. So, of course, we need to help those in need, but we need to make sure we have proper, healthy public finances. So we need to strike a balance between the two.
There were also those who questioned the government's quarantine exemption arrangement for certain groups.
For the third wave of transmission, it's because of the air crew and sea crew. They brought the virus to us. Now, there are 4 experts in the expert advisory panels. Did all of them object to the proposal to grant exemption to these groups? Now, I'm not going to divulge the detailed discussions with experts, but I think we always put public health first. And of course, there's no longer a problem. There are still isolated imported cases, but on the whole, we've managed to control imported cases.
Lawmakers also asked about privacy concerns surrounding the planned health code system for Hong Kong residents to enter the mainland or Macau. Chung said for those who are worried about their personal information falling into the hands of mainland authorities, they can choose not to cross the border. Caleb Loong, TVB News.